is just fantastic.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video.
Yeah, but not your video, my video. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. It's kind of hectic, nah? Because Meg is running late. Yeah, sorry. This wouldn't be happening otherwise. Because I had a topic planned. Because I wanted more downvotes, it was going to be Hassan Piker. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at Amber's more recent Q&A stuff. Because in the interim, with her membership live streams, clips doing their rounds all over social media, oh, she is an idiot. She's still desperately trying to control what she presents as who she thinks she is, when we all know what she really is. Washcloth stank skank lit. Hashtag stop washcloth abuse.
So this series is called Let's Talk. I have done this before years ago. It's definitely just a series where I can communicate and correspond with you guys.
Basically, these videos serve as an excuse for Amber to continue to phone it in like she has done for years, but now with a definitive setting so she doesn't put her back out, or a crack out, where she can sit in the one spot of her couch that has yet to collapse in upon itself because she's using all those cushions to act as suitable foundation and back support, of course, when she has to be lie down there.
So unfortunately, my channel has thrived, but also died on a lot of different speculation, and I want to change that.
Thrived and died, huh? Your channel thrived at only 2 points. When you were in drama, and when you were a mukbanger. Nothing else about your channel has ever thrived. The Belgian contingent did not save you. They gave you a boost for about a month or two, and that was it. Your channel has yet to die, per se, but it is going that way slowly. You are, of course, racing into the bottom because you're a terrible, trashy, disgusting, skanky human being. I'll insert this because it's obligatory. Where's Rarity, Amber? Tell the truth, since you're so set on being honest with people.
I want to use my voice in situations where I normally wouldn't, and I want to continue using my voice in situations where I already have. This is just a place for you guys to get to know me more, maybe in areas that you never would have.
Bit late for that, Amber. Becca already told us how you wiped your booty. I'm now curious how you did the front, because if you couldn't reach the back, I could be certain you couldn't reach the front. Oh wait, you were wiped. Sorry, I forgot. I guess you don't need to do these if we've already know so much about you.
A place for me to be accountable, to clarify and deny, and just an overall correspondence between you and me every single week. So the reason I want to do this is because there's always questions, rumors, speculation, just things that people are, for the lack of a better word, obsessively asking me about. And it kind of goes in cycles.
The thing here is, Amber, for you to address speculation, you'd have to have evidence to confirm or deny it. Refute it. Debunk it. You don't present anything, you just go with, trust me guys, I am the arbiter of truth. And as far as the cycle goes, the reason that cycle exists for the haters is entirely because of your cycle, which may well be expanded to include your fluctuating weight. And fun little factoid I saw on Twitter earlier today, in the 6 years Amber's been hovering around this weight, she has lost a grand total of 7 pounds. Now I don't want to be that guy, but that's quite the milestone.
Where it's like, there's like 5 huge things that people are talking about ad nauseum. And I think this is a good opportunity
to milk it because I've got no other ideas after quitting Ozempic semaglutide again and again and again. And failing all the other diets too. And not vlogging, just sitting on my backside doing nothing because this couch might be my new washcloth.
Yes, now put that idea in your head, you're all welcome. Give it some thought, let it stew and simmer. Yeah, that'll nightmare fuel your dreams for a while. I dreamt of fish and chips last night, it was great.
Maybe I can answer those 5 things, or whatever it may be.
You know what would do you more favours? First of all, if you're going to address the haters, your best option is to actually provide the truth with fact and evidence fact. Or you need to go back to being Amberlynn Reid as opposed to Amber, who you really are, and, hyper-focusing and obsessing over the haters that you claim to not pay much attention to. Because you're all about that Trisha Paytas stuff, when really you're very much interested in what the one more time haters are doing.
But regardless, I feel like my channel is very parasocial, let's be real. And there's always some sort of speculation or always some sort of topic that people are like, Amberlynn, why won't you talk about this? So this is gonna give me the opportunity to do so, if you guys bring it up, of course.
After she's filtered through all the questions that she definitely won't answer, for example, booty wipe stuff, rarity stuff, because she cares so much, guys. She cares so much, like she always has done. These are just an excuse for you to phone it in even more. I will keep saying it because it's accurate, it's factually true. You're doing nothing. The only time you're ever appearing to do something is on your membership streams, because you think that somehow won't be clipped to high hell. It'll be like owning an OnlyFans. Oh wait, you've had one, haven't you? You probably should have sold that feeder content there, rather than claiming you weren't, but never mind. Cookie Crumble could have gone there at least.
So Sweet and Sour is just going to be a random comment generator from the Let's Talk prior. So obviously, since this is episode 1, we're having to skip that part. But I came up with Sweet and Sour because you never know what kind of comment is going to pop up.
I feel like this is inspired by Forrest Gump with the "Life is like a box of chocolates" comment. And you never know what you're going to get, because apparently you didn't bother to look at the box before you bought it. Right? That's what I'm getting from this. Also, random comment generator is hilarious because how many "where's rarity" and how useless you are comments are you going to ignore? But if you can give us 1 or 2 decent ones, that'd be great. Although I have seen of late you responding in your members-only streams to comments thrown your way, and how well you take it when someone points out how much you sound like something, and you are it, you try and change to match that or to contradict it.
Amberlynn is like when trailer trash adopts an LA attitude. What? Can it be a sweet comment? Or can it be a sour comment? Using a random comment generator is going to give me a wide variety of comments instead of just like going based off of like the top ones where I pick and choose, etc, etc. So this next section I am calling Sippin' Community. I know, I'm very clever, thank you. So this is where I read from the community tab that I will be posting every single Monday. So it gets time for the questions and anything that you guys need me to speak about.
It's like we're going to our agony aunt era, where comments sent your way you'll respond to and give insight into. Educated insight even from your own perspective of limited understanding. I'm not entirely sure what use this is as content, although I will find it somewhat amusing yet again you're plotting and planning to do things. But I've no doubt in my mind you won't be able to commit to this for more than a month. If you can't be asked to lose weight, you definitely can't be asked to commit to content. Especially content that seems like you're attempting to be a little more whimsical and legitness uniqueness.
And after Sippin' Community, we're going to be doing the Linterview. Yes, I know, more cleverness from your girl.
Really are trying to push home that Lynn thing, aren't we? I guess it does roll off the tongue better than Amberlynterview. That just sounds ridiculous. When are we going to get to the stage where you hand out your own dinosaur Power Ranger coin and call yourself the Tubosaurus? It's wiping time. That's your morphin time thing. Yeah, you're welcome.
So the Linterview is where you guys are actually interviewing me with your voice. Yes.
Oh, the temptation. Oh, the temptation to send you something. But it would probably get flagged for violating terms of service, so I'll refrain and leave it to superior minds to articulate questions that you'll undoubtedly not answer. Because let's face it here, Amber, can't control the narrative if we're free to speak our minds.
So anyways, after the Linterview, the next section is called Tea or Tale. So what this is going to be is I am going to clarify rumors that I have heard through the grapevine, and I'm going to tell you, yeah, that's real, or no, that's actually not true.
This is code for I'm going to obsessively watch the haters. I'm not saying it the other way anymore, I can't be asked. Obsessively watch them, get angry and offended when they've realised my shenanigans and called me out for it, to then claim it's actually the opposite. Because I have to be contrarian, Amber. I was going to go with contrarian Lynn Reid, but I don't want to call you Lynn anymore. No, you're Amber. Perennial Amber. The rarity cat loser.
And then the last section is going to be bad choices. And I just remembered I forgot to actually bring the cards over here, so I need to go get those. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, bad choices is just a bunch of really hecticana questions.
Okay, props to the props. Congratulations. Second, I'm still mildly amused by this format. Third, hecticana is not a word. Don't try me, bitch. honestly. So now we have the video structures down. Let's see if we can get anything interesting out of this video that may well fall in line with these topics.
Okay, sadly, we are skipping over sweet and sour because I can't do it, and we're gonna go straight to sippin' community. Have you considered that your refusal to do inpatient treatment could be linked to a drug addict's refusal to do rehab? No, because I actually think doing inpatient would be fun. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, fun, that's really the adjective you're gonna use for that.
You can consider something as fun as you like, but the reality is until you experience it, you can only consider it. You would act blasé, but we all know how you really get when you go to see doctors. You get anxious and you cry it out like there's no tomorrow. I still find it funny, by the way, that you're willing to go on backyard semaglutide and Ozempic jabs, whilst claiming the anxiety, whilst also going for the same backyard out-of-the-trunk CBD products. It's funny when you will actually go to a doctor, it'll be more than likely when someone dragging you there because your body has failed you. A stage no one wants you to get to because they want you to simply be better. But this blasé attitude of yours, the big brave, is all for show, again controlling the narrative and the message as best you can. Where's Rarity, by the way?
The only reason why I choose not to do inpatient is because it is extremely expensive and I have a job.
What's more important to you, Amber? Saving up and saving your life, or baking videos? These videos anyway. Let's face it, your life is more important, or should be, but apparently, like others who fail at weight loss, you are prioritizing the entertainment of the masses and the feeders. Amber, for as long as you hold this mentality, you'll never be able to heal, you'll never be able to save yourself, because you're sure as hell never going to do it on a diet, you're never going to do it on your cheat codes, you will never amount to anything more than that silly bish who only ever managed to lose 7 pounds and is still a quarter-ton princess on the path to half-ton heifer.
Why is it okay for you to make assumptions about ZM's mental health, but when your audience does it, it's mental health shaming? So I've never really made an assumption about his mental health. Months and months ago when I said, whoa, what a quinky dink, Zachary Michael's mental health gets bad when I take a break from YouTube. I think that was my way of just being like, okay, if you can dish it, I expect you're gonna be able to take it.
You're a moron and this is deflection. I am not now going to insert that perhaps I expected better from you because you really do have a low bar. It's right next to your intelligence, your academic record. The only thing you've ever succeeded at is driving people away after you managed to build them up. As an audience, anyway. And it certainly wasn't a case of tit for tat. It really wasn't. You just had to punch when someone's down. Even though many of us in the past have defended you when you went down. Zachary Michael was one of them.
Have you traveled the world since breaking up with Beck? No, but I have traveled. I have
gone to see a girlfriend and
Lost a cat, put on £50, come home, lost your girlfriend, put out feeder content, totally wasn't you. Oh, and of course fallen out with everyone in your life and made defamatory claims against those involved in your life.
How did I do? By the way, you have not travelled, per se. You just gone to various places like a good locust, harvested, and moved on. Right now, Skank Amber is in a rut that Amber cannot get out of without having a poor defenseless person to care for you as your sad sack, your piñata, your muse.
How does it feel knowing you've been stuck in a time loop for the last decade, when your watchers have graduated college with masters, gotten married, etc.? The world is evolving around you, yet you haven't changed a thing. So first of all, to those who have graduated college with masters, hell yeah, props to ya. But I do want to say everyone's timeline is completely different. Some people get married when they're 18, some people get married when they're freaking 62.
I don't think that's so much the point. But it's nice you can put on the character long enough to say that. And I say the character long enough, the character of Amberlynn as opposed to Amber, who we get on the members-only live streams. You see, Amberlynn likes to think she can champion, elevate, be positive for everyone. But the reality is, that would have taken multiple attempts to record, it's why we got jump cuts. Because damn, I bet reading that was salty and a hard pill to swallow. If someone had said that to me, I genuinely would be hurt by it. Because I would then look at my life and go, okay, maybe my timeline isn't, like anyone else's. Within the, the sphere of my life, that is. The people I've known within it. However, with you, it's a case that virtually everyone that has been with is living a better life without, which speaks volumes of the kind of person you are. And don't even get me started on some of the stuff Tommy's been saying on social media, because geez, that stuff's going to open up soon, isn't it?
You know your comment section is public, right? Why lie about getting so much support We can all see what people are saying to you, Amber. So I get a lot of private support, which I completely understand, because when someone supports me publicly, they get actually bashed and attacked, and it's...
Well, you know what you can do, Amber? If it's all private, you can, with permission of the person who sent it, of course, which you will undoubtedly use as a way of saying that no, they didn't give permission, you can show the message and simply delete the part where their profile picture or name is in it. But please include the timestamp when it was sent, so we can prove that these are more recent and not comments you pulled out of your rectum or of someone else's comment section. Someone else called Amber, no doubt.
It's really sad. For some reason, the haters cannot accept that there are people who actually like me and enjoy my content, and they can't accept a different opinion than theirs.
Oh, they could if they existed publicly, but because you've never provided any proof to the contrary, it's all in your head. Additionally, there are people that support you blindly. They're called simps and feeders, because you like to give them something in return. How much money did you and Tommy make on that other stuff, by the way? You know, around the time Rarity went missing? Misa thinking you so looking stupid.
I am so nervous. All right, let me get to my Instagram. I am beyond nervous.
If you didn't have the obstacles that you have in your life, I'm thinking specifically about your weight or maybe some of the trauma-related obstacles, what different twists and turns do you think your life would have taken? Let's imagine you didn't do YouTube.
I'm not gonna lie, that voice sounded so familiar to me, but I'm not entirely sure whose voice that was. Hell, it could be someone on Cameo that Amber paid to say that. Who knows these days? Although I will admit, the question is actually a good one. Problem is, Amber's gonna answer it a certain way to fluff her own ego. We should probably hear the fluffing, shouldn't we?
Okay, so if I didn't have childhood trauma and I didn't have these weight issues, where do I see myself now? Honestly, probably like in LA. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what I'd be doing for a job or anything like that. Like, I don't like to hype myself up too hard, but I feel like I would be an attractive person if I was thin.
I think you'd have a better chance of being a beautiful person if you weren't so chronically online. If you weren't a YouTuber, I genuinely think you could have had a better future. I would argue the future you have here on this platform, because this is your life, this future is the worst possible future you could have, because this one deprives you of anything healthy. And that could include food, it could include the relationships with people. You're lacking in interpersonal skills. So full of yourself because of the ego you get on this platform, that you just failed. And so the only version we ever know is the ugliest possible version of Amber.
Okay, so you know how there's the butterfly effect theory of how like one insignificant moment in your life could change the course of the rest of your life?
Yes.
Do you know, or can you pinpoint like what significant or insignificant moment or event happened in your life that if you could, you would go back and change and maybe speculate how it could have changed the course of the rest of your life?
Now this could be argued to be another very good question. It could be, if it wasn't for the fact that much of what Amber considers significant and insignificant is entirely based on arbitrary thought. So insignificant to her, reality her, as in Amber, would be losing Rarity because she didn't care. We know this. Insignificant would be how she treated all her ex-girlfriends. Insignificant would be the poor defenseless washcloths whose lives were lost in that crack. I'm somewhat surprised she didn't inhale them up there to give herself a proper rooty-tooty-booty-tooty cleaning. Like a chimney sweep with a washcloth. There are many she has, significant and insignificant, moments in her life told us about that have all been proven, debunked, or made to appear to be less real or true than she has indicated. So what does she say?
So I do have one particular moment in my head, and I don't know what ways that it would have changed my life.
Amber tells us a story of what happened to her when she was 7 years old, and a story I will not repeat on YouTube because I do not think it right. I do not know whether it is truthful or not. The annoying thing with Amber is she's told so many lies over the years, she has poisoned her own well. But I'm inclined to believe it is true, because I don't like to think of someone as willing to lie about these kind of subjects. That's not to say she hasn't, or is lying, or not lying. I'm just not willing to commit to it. I'm not surprised though she'd use it, because that's a guarantee click moment situation type deal that is very hectocana. Now this video as a video is trash, which hardly makes mine any better, I know. I wanted to use it to prove a point, that even when she claims to be open and honest, she is still lying through her teeth. She is selective on the truth and will prove nothing, provide no proof, to support anything she says. She won't do it, because to do that would mean to actually be honest, and that's something Amber can't do, because Amberlynn, the liar, the skank, yes, cannot tell the truth in anything she does.